we look out for will be, okay, so what will be the outcome of this therapy? What can my child end up doing? What is he able to do for himself in future?
The most important thing is do not promise a parent too much. We should actually work on the action. The thing is that autism is treatable. For now, it's not yet curable. So as much as possible, let the parent know that things will be slow. You are working on this child. You shouldn't expect immediate miracle. And then make sure that you give reports as you move on. Carry the parents along. I've had people come to my center Monday to Friday. They do very well. Saturday, Sunday, they go back home. And then the parents, because they're not properly educated, or maybe there's somebody in the house that is not educated enough on how to manage that child, the whole therapy thing goes down. And then you have to start all over again. So everybody that has anything to do with that child has to be well managed. So the prognosis is there. It's not curable. It's functionality you want to achieve for that child. How that child can be independent, how that child can be an adult. They marry. I've seen children, people with autism marry, have children. Even professors, even doing well. So it's not like it's a death sentence or this disability is going to incapacitate this person for life.
Talking about all of us knowing about this, support for people with autism, how much of it do we have in our environment? Support groups.
Oh, well, there's a range of support groups that are possible. Parents have a network where they meet themselves and talk about their experiences. Share their milestones as well, but there are also professional groups, who do one thing or the other. In terms of an integrated support group, I'm not aware that we are there yet. Where you find a place where you're sure that you will get information or get support that you need. Most parents are largely navigating their way alone. Finding that they have to navigate their way through assessing services, getting diagnoses, evaluations, and so on and so forth, and the intervention as well. So it's a big challenge. But the one thing that I would like to say is, when we look at intervention, we have to bear in mind that each person with autism is unique. That uniqueness is core. Whether even in the presentation of the symptoms, the severity levels are different as well. So it can range, since it's a spectrum, can range from mild to severe. So in planning management or intervention, you're also looking at that uniqueness that cuts across these different areas. So you're getting input from a speech professional, because this child is presenting with speech and language problems. It's got behavior problems. You need a behaviorist who brings in ideas on how to address the behavior problems. The child has nutritional issues and range. So not all children with autism would have issues with nutrition. Yeah. Not all children with autism would have issues with food allergies and sensitivities. But
so
all children,
each according to
what they present. So each child, for it to be autism, must cut across what I call the quad of impairments, borrowing from Lorna Wing's triad of impairments, that autism would affect those 3 areas of communication, of unusual behaviors, and social interaction. But the sensory component is also a big deal, because we find in practice there are more and more people with autism present with serious sensory issues, ranging from sensitivity to undersensitivity. And this cuts across the different sensory modalities, So you find children who have unusual gaze, and looking from the corner of the eyes and things like that. And there's also tactile, where they either don't want to be cuddled or don't want to be touched. Now, so if a good treatment, a good intervention would look at what this unique child is presenting and develop a program to address it. And that's why some of us in Nigeria are offering a protocol called the Ngwongwo therapy. The Ngwongwo therapy is actually a cocktail. If it is true that autism cuts across different trajectories.
So let's give everything.
No, not that. Chances are that it's not possible to get one treatment that will address all autism across all children. So you have to find a cocktail. But you need to have detailed information in these different areas to know what should come into that cocktail.
And sometimes it has to do with diagnosis too. Some parents will go to the general practitioner, and then he just looks at the child, or not referring the child to the appropriate specialist?
It's still part of the awareness and letting people know there's a job description. If you also suspect something, there's another person who is a specialist who is doing this effortlessly. Send that child, a child that has autism walks into my clinic now. I'm already, 1, 2, 3, it's already going to A, he has this, B, he has this, C, he has this, this. Because most times some of them present, though it's not on the face. Autism children very unique, not on the face, but behavioral manifestation.
Some of these symptoms that I want you to quickly repeat.
The eye gaze is not there. Maybe a baby is sucking and it's not looking at the mother, or it's not looking at the people around. It's not pointing. The child will say, I want this, or this is what I want. The child is not pointing. And these are with months. If it's not doing that before the age of 8 months or 12 months, you should look at that as a red flag. If it's not making a word at 12 months or babble, you should also look at that. Making 2 words before 12 months of age, you should look at that. Or the child is even formed well, doing very well, and then all of a sudden, the language disappears, the social skills disappear. You shouldn't say that maybe there's a problem. You should also go find out because it's actually one of the spectrum too, regression and losing every other thing. So, and then playing with one item rather than playing, especially inanimate objects, rather than playing with other people.
Do they throw tantrums?
Some of them throw tantrums. Because autism, quite a percentage come with other diseases, other disorders rather. We call it comorbidity. Some with seizure, what we call the epilepsy. Some with attention deficit hyperactive disorder. Some even come with other disorders that we don't even want to talk about here now. So it may not just be autism alone. It may be with the other thing. And that is why we are saying multidisciplinary intervention is very key, because if that child has something that has to do with another specialty, they refer. Maybe a child with autism that have epilepsy or seizure rather, they definitely name it that child will need medication, because some parents out there does believe that, a child has autism, they will come to you and say, we do not want medication. But that is not the issue. Now, if that child has seizure, we could actually work with some level of medication and help the child out. Or he has attention deficit hyperactive disorder, very hyperactive and destructive. Sometimes he may just need the medication to taper down that hyperactivity and get the child focused. It may just be for a short while and work.
In essence, even the medical practitioners, especially those who are not in the field of treating autism, should know when to refer, and for everybody to know the signs and how to be gentle with, instead of calling them weird, to know that they are just special, right?
Exactly.
Yes,
very
different.
Special and different.
Very
Thank
unique.
you so much for sharing your time with us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
A lot of things are lost on a child living with autism. However, with help, individuals with autism have shown that they can overcome, compensate for, and otherwise manage many of autism's most challenging characteristics and proceed to a productive and independent adulthood. Thank you so much for your time. Share your thoughts with us on any of our feedback platforms. I'm Yomi Otaigbe.